Welcome back, friends. In this video we are going to discuss about list built-in data structure. So in the last video we have a clear idea about control statements as well as a string built-in data structure. So in this video we will have a clear idea about the list and in how many ways we can represent the list and what are the predefined functions in the list, what is the purpose of using the list in the real time. So this everything we will have a clear idea in this section. So first of all, guys, those who want to transform their career into data science, make sure that you watch this video till the end. Definitely it is going to help you. So coming back to the section, I'm just opening my Jupyter notebook. So this is my Jupyter notebook. Don't worry, guys, if you want my Python file, which means this code file, I will provide my GitHub link in the description. You can go through it. You will have a clear idea if you see the particular code, and you can also implement step by step. For example, okay, I am just initializing this string. I'm just marking down. First of all, you need to understand what is the purpose of the list. Suppose I am initializing a variable, numerical variable, which means which holds the integer data type, and if I print the value of a, see, it executed 1. We all know this because when we are dealing with the data types, we have a clear idea how the variable can assign a value and how the print condition works. In the Python 3, we have a clear idea. But if I want to pass 5 or 6 numbers in a one variable, for example, I am passing 1, 2, 3, and if I just print a, see, 1, 2, 3, it is printing successfully. The a is the assigned values for the a is 1, after that 2, and after that 3. Okay. For example, in another case, if I just pass 1 and comma, and I'm just passing string data type, and I'm also passing 12.2, which means float data type, and if I just print the value, see, it is printing successfully. But if I want to find which type of a, what is the data type of a, see, it is selecting as a tuple. Tuple is another building data structure we will see in the upcoming classes, but in this section we will have a clear idea about the list. So list is denoted with the help of open brace as well as a close brace. Okay, if I am just passing, I am taking a variable a and I am passing some numbers, numerical representation 1, 2, 3. Okay, list is nothing but it is a built-in data structure which holds n number of data types, which means it can hold a numerical data type as well as an string data type as well as an float data type. Both three, these can be applied in list data structure. Okay, when coming here in this Python file, we have a clear idea. So see, a list in the Python is used to store the sequence of various types of data. See here, various types of data, which means different type of data types can be applied using the list. For example, we can use integer data type as well as a float data type as well as a list data type. There is no issue. In the second line, Python list can mutable type. It means we can modify its element after it created. List is immutable. What is the meaning of mutable? Mutable is nothing but, for example, if we take a new cell, okay, mutable is nothing but changeable. Changeable means if I just pass an a and if I want to change any value, suppose I am pass a is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, at the place of 2 I want 3, or at the place of 2 I want the value will be 4 or 5 or anything. So mutable means if you want to change any element, approximately that value will be changed at the particular location. Okay, or if you want to insert any element, that particular value can also be inserted in the particular list. Okay, there is no issue. This is mutable. Mutable means changeable. Okay, the value which changes the entire content presenting in the particular variable, it is known as a mutable variable. Okay, list is mutable. Suppose I am executing it. So from here we will have a clear idea about the list. So I am declaring a variable of list. Suppose I am declaring 1, 2, 3, 4. I am just printing the value of a, see, 1, 2, 3, 4 has printed successfully. Okay, if you want to print the type of which data type it is, just pass. We will know what is the keyword for that type of a, see, it is printing as a list data type, list built-in data structure it is printing. So for example, in a we can also pass 1 as well as in string values also we can pass, and I am passing an float data type. Okay, and I am just printing a See, it printed successfully. There is no error. And if you want to find the type of A, see, again it is providing list. When we are passing complete numerical numbers, it is printing the type as in built-in data structure list. And when we are passing different data types, which means a numerical data type, it is an integer data type, as well as it is string data type, and it is a float data type. When you are passing different data types also, it is recognizing as a list, the built-in data structure list. Okay, if you want to find different data types, okay, individual data types, suppose I am passing in the list, I am passing 1 comma 2 comma, and I am passing a string here, suppose, and I am finding a floating value here. So if you want to find the different types, what is the first element type, and what is the second element type, what is the third element type, so we can pass a for loop here for I in A. We are not writing range because it is a built-in data structure. Okay, list is a built-in data structure. There is no, in such a kind of situation, range function will not work. In the previous video, I also proved with an example. So those who want to clear idea about the range function, go to my strings concept and look over there. You will have a better idea. So for I in A, which means A is holding the list 1 comma 2 comma and a string value which is represented as in Kamal, and there is a floating value 12.2. So I am passing a for loop into the list. Okay, and I am just printing type of A, which means it, for example, at the initial state, defaultly the starting value of I will be index value 0. Okay, what is the 0th index position value? 1. So it just print the type of A. What is the type of 1? It is an integer data type. Okay, if you just execute it, see, at the first iteration it is printing as a list, second iteration also it is printing a list, third, fourth it is printing as list. But for example, wait, it's a list data type. Okay, I just want to print the value I. Okay, see, 1 2 3 4, it is printing successfully. And if I just pass instead of type of I, which means I is going inside. Okay, see, at the first iteration 1 is collected towards the I because I is holding the index position 0. So at the 0th index position the value will be 1. And what is the data type of this particular one? Integer data type. And at the second iteration it is collecting 2. So 2 is the integer data type. And at the third iteration the I will be the index position of the I will be 3. Sorry, 2. At the second index position the data type holding is string. At the last index position 12.2, which is a float data type. So I hope you understand very clearly. So this is how the for loop will be work inside a list. There will be no range function will work in the built-in data structures, and different data types can be implemented using a list built-in data structure. And suppose I am passing, and in the reverse order we can write 12.2, and again I am passing a string, suppose. Okay, and I am just passing an for loop. Again, if I want to print the type of I, see, the first value will be float data type and the second value will be, say, string data type. It printed successfully. So this is how the list data structure work. It is very easy. So the list data structure can be used when we are implementing stack algorithm. So don't worry guys, stack algorithm is one of the most important algorithm. It completely depending upon data structures and algorithm concept. So in the next section we have a clear idea how the stack algorithm can be implemented with the help of list. We will have a clear idea in the next section. But in this section I am going to tell you about some predefined functions in the list. So some of the predefined functions in the list are, so these are some of the predefined functions. So don't worry guys, those who want this particular Python files, I will provide my GitHub link in the description. You can copy from there and you can practice it. You will have a clear idea, you will have more idea. Suppose we are executing one by one, we will execute, so no issue. So these are some of the predefined functions. Okay, so these are the predefined functions of the list. In the last section we have discussed predefined functions of the string, which means some capitalize, upper, lower. There are some so there are many predefined functions in the list also. When coming to list, there are also some predefined functions which help to work well in the real time. For example, I am passing a list 1 2 3 4. Okay, just if I just print the print A. See, the values has printed successfully. Suppose we will come one by one. Okay, what is the first function? Append. Okay, append. How the append can, what is the purpose of append? Append is nothing but if we want to add any element into the list, adding element into the list. So if I want to add, for example, what are the values inside the list? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to add fifth element into the list, I can add with the help of an append keyword. So the syntax of writing is a dot append of, suppose I want to insert the value 5, append of 5, and I want to print again A. See, at the end of the position of the string, sorry, at the list, the value 5 is inserted. See, with the help of append keyword. So when we pass append keyword, the value can be easily inserted into the list at the end position only. It will not insert wherever we want. So if we want to insert the value wherever we want, there is another keyword known as an insert. But when we used append, at the last position only, the value will be added. Suppose I am adding another value, a dot append of 10, and if I want to print the value of A, if I execute it, see, for example, I am just removing it. See, initially the A value is 1, 2, 3, 4, but I am passing an value 10. Okay, if I pass the value 10, the 10 is added at the end of the list. Okay, if I want to add another element I want to add 20. So if I just print the A, see, 20 is added at the end of the position. So this is how the append keyword works. This is the purpose of using append function. So when we want to add an element into the list, we can use append keyword. But remember, append keyword work only, it will add the element at the end of the list only. So if we want to add the element wherever we want at the particular index position, we need to use another keyword known as an insert keyword. So we'll also work with it. There is no issue. We will see one by one. So another keyword is known as an extend. So extend is another function by the list which is used to extend two lists. For example, I am passing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I am passing another list 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and extend keyword, extend is used to extend the list. So practically we have a clear idea. I am passing a dot extend of B. Okay, and if I print the value of A, which means a dot extend of B, it is telling that A, okay, A list dot extend of B, which means the B values, the B list values will be added to the end of the A. Okay, and we are printing the value A. So we will see what will happen. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, it is the value from the A, and we are extending B to A. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8 has been added successfully. This is how extend function works. For example, if you just copy it and if you just paste here, and I am adding B dot extend of A, which means, and if I am printing value B, I think you know the output. We are extending B by passing the A list. Okay, the output will be 5, 6, 7, 8, and we are extending A 5, 6, 7, 8. After that 1, 2, 3, 4 will be added. We are printing B. See, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we are extending B with the help of A list. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is added successfully. Okay, for example, if we pass another list 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, and we're extending suppose A, C, and we're printing B. See, it is telling that it is printing an error. Extend takes exactly one argument. Okay, so those who want to give n number of arguments here, it is not possible. You can only give one argument. Suppose you pass, see, it is executed successfully. So extend keyword is the function. It will hold only one parameter. Okay, if you want to extend some two list, it will accept only one parameter inside the extend function. There is no need of giving two parameters. If you give two parameters, see, automatically error will be created, and the type of error you can see is it takes only one argument. We are passing two arguments here, so remove it and we can shift it. Okay, this is how the extend function get worked. and okay, the second function, the third is sum, length and index. So we will see one by one, okay, in this section. So if we are finding sum, I think you will know easily what is the purpose of the sum. Suppose I am passing a list 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. I am just passing sum of a. If you execute it, see 10. What is the purpose of sum? It just sum all the elements what we are pass inside the list. What will 4 plus 3? It is 7. So 7 plus 2 9 and 9 plus 1 is 10. So the value will be 10. This is the purpose of sum. Sum function is used to just add all the elements inside the list. Suppose I am passing 5, another 5. So what will be the output? Approximately it will be 15. Okay, see, the value will be 15. This is the purpose of sum. So another function it is used to find the maximum value. Max is another keyword. Suppose I am passing 1, 2, 3, 4 and I am just passing max of a, which means, so what is the maximum position? What is the biggest position here? Biggest value here 4. Approximately the biggest value will be 4. If I execute it, see, 4 will be printed. So max keyword it is used to find the largest element inside the list. Suppose I am taking a same 1, 2, 3, 4 and I am just passing min of a, which means it collect the lowest keyword, which means lowest element inside the list. If I execute it, see, 1 is collected successfully. So this is the purpose of max as well as in min. So this is used to find the min, okay. And suppose I am passing a list of comma and I am passing a string as well as I am passing 12.2 and floating values. So I want to find the Kamal, at what index position it held, I want to find. So the keyword we used is known as an index keyword. So with the help of index keyword, we can find a dot index of 2. So sorry, in the place of parameters, we need to give the value what we insert. See, okay. So we are just taking. So a is the variable list 1 comma and it is accepting string as well as in floating values, and I am passing a dot index. We are just finding the index of this particular string, at what index position this particular string has been held. So it is printing that at first index position this particular string value has been held. We know the index position of 1 is 0 and the index position of Kamal is 1 and the index position of 12.2 is 2. So if we want to print the index position of 12.2, approximately it will be 2. Okay, so we know the index position starts from 0. So this is the purpose of using index keyword, and we will have a length, min, max, okay, sort, pop. So there is an, sorry, I will just copy everything here so I will have a clear idea. Again, instead of going up and down, I'm just printing it. So we have discussed append, extend, sum, length we will discuss now, and index, min, max we have discussed. So suppose I am passing an 1, 2, 3, 4 and if I want to find the length of list, just pass length of a, which means how many values are presenting inside the list. There are 4 elements, so it is printing 4. So if you pass another element, see, there are 5 keywords inside the list and the output will be 5. Suppose if you pass another 2 and suppose 10, 20, so how many values inside the list? Approximately there will be 7 values inside the list, so output will be 7. So this is the purpose of using length function. Length function is used to find the length of the list. Length used to find the length of the list. Okay, there is no issue. So in the next column we will see sorting. So what is the purpose of sort? So before going to sort, we will have a clear idea about the pop and delete and remove. At last we will see sort function. So suppose I am passing an, so instead I am commenting it, pop. Suppose I am passing a list here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I am just passing pop, a dot pop. So this pop function, it is just removes the last keyword from the list. Okay, so I am passing the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside the list, and it is holding a variable known as an a. So if I just pass pop keyword, pop here, So approximately the last value will be 5 and this 5 will be removed. Okay, if you just execute it, see, the last keyword has been removed. If I just print again, I want to print the value a, see, only there are 4 values, the 5 has been removed. Okay, so the pop keyword is used to remove the elements of the last, used to remove the elements. Okay, so if I just pass another pop, see, again this last value has been removed. If I execute it, see, the value 4 has been removed. If I pass a, see, again 1 2 3 only printing. Okay, if we pass pop again, the value 3 will be removed. So what is the purpose of pop? Pop will be remove the last value inside a list. And suppose I am passing another list here. Suppose I am passing 1 2 3 and 34 and a dot pop. Okay, we know the pop function, it is used to remove the last elements inside the list. Okay, so instead of removing the last element, if we want to remove any particular value inside the list, we can find that particular index. If I want to remove the value 2, so inside a pop function, if I give 1, because at first index position, what is the value? 2. Okay, if I execute it, see, the 2 will be removed. So the pop function, if we are not passing any parameter inside the pop function, the last value will be removed. So if you want to pass any parameter, just give the index position of the particular number list. Suppose I am passing here and come 8 7 6 5. Okay, so instead of, sorry, I am giving dot, value to value will be separated with the help of comma. So a dot pop. If you not pass any parameter, obviously the last word, last value 5 will be removed. If you want to remove the particular word, if you want to remove the particular word, call 7, and what is the index position of 7? It will be 2. You pass 2, see, the 7 has removed successfully. So this is the purpose of pop. If you pass any parameter, that particular index will be removed. If you are not passing any parameter, approximately the last value from the list has been removed. Okay, it will also remove the string positions also. For example, I am passing here and I am passing Python. Okay, if I just pass a dot pop of 1, see, at the first index position, the keyword string Python has been held, so it removes the particular value. And if I want to print it again, see, only one string value is present because Python has been removed successfully, because we are passing the first index position. If you are not passing the index position, obviously the last keyword has been removed. So I think you have a clear idea about the pop function. So we will see next function. So next are delete and remove. Okay, so we'll have a clear idea about the delete. Suppose I am passing a list 1 2 3 4. Okay, if I just want to remove the particular keyword 2, okay, and with the help of delete we can easily find a dot, suppose I am delete a of 2. Okay, we are giving 2, which means it is a delete function also follows the index position. Okay, follows the index position. So we are deleting 2, which to second index position. What is the second index position? 3, value 3. So because it is in the list A, if you execute it and if you want to print A, see, the 3 has been removed successfully because we are deleting with the help of delete keyword. We are deleting, so inside the list, because why we have written A here? Because A is the variable which is holding list. At the A, in the A list, at the second index position, what is the value? That particular value will be deleted. Okay, suppose I am passing delete A. What is the, so now inside A there are 3 values. If I want to remove the particular fourth element, so with the help of del function, del A of, if I am pass 2 and if I print A, see, the 4 has been removed successfully. Why the 4 has been removed successfully? Because at the second index position the value were 4. So delete function completely based upon index positions. With the help of del keyword we can easily delete the element what we want inside the list. So now we will discuss about remove. Okay, I am passing a list. Okay, and I want to remove the particular keyword known as 2. So a dot, so sorry, a dot remove of 1, and if I print a, see 3 comma 4. So remove function does not follow index position, doesn't follow index position. Okay, it just directly collect the particular value and it just remove that particular value. So if we are passing 1 here, so 1 is in the list, yes, the 1 is in the list, and 1 will be removed, and the remaining values are 3 comma 4. That 3 comma 4 has been printed successfully. So we will see another example. Suppose I am passing 5 comma 4 comma 3 and 2 and 1. So if I want to remove the keyword known as an 1, if I want to remove 1, so instead of giving that particular index, we can pass that particular direct value we can give. So if I want to remove the 4th value, so a dot remove, and I'm just printing a. See, the value 4 has been removed successfully. So in del is the keyword which is which follows the index position, but remove is the keyword which follows the directly it will take the value. It doesn't need any index positions. So if you pass any value out of bound, for example, I am passing 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and I'm just removing remove. I am just removing the value 10 because 10 is not in the list. Okay, a dot remove of 10. What is the remove function? It will not follow any index position. It will directly select the value and it will remove that particular value. But I am passing the value 10, which is not in the particular list. Okay, the list values are 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 only, but I am passing the value 10. Okay, and I am going to check it. If I want print a, see what is the error? List dot remove x. X is not in the list. Okay, which means the particular parameter what we are passing here, what was the value passing here, that particular value was not in the list. It is just generating an error. Okay, so instead of giving 10 here, if you give 4, see the 4 is removed successfully. So the remove function will completely based upon the direct value, and the del function is completely based upon the index position. Okay, this is the purpose of working of del and remove. So now we will have a clear idea about sort. So what is sort? Sort is nothing but converting of the list values either in the ascending order or in the descending order. Ascending or descending order. So instead of writing the n number of lines like a bubble sort or insertion sort or selection sort, so we can use a keyword name as an sort. The keyword name is sort, and with the help of sort we can easily do either ascending order or descending order. We can easily implement it. There will be only one line of code. Suppose I am passing 10, okay, and 5 2 7 9, and I am passing 100. Okay, I want to sort in the ascending order. Okay, I am just passing a dot sort, and if you print a, see all the values are in the ascending order. We just passed a we just give the list random values. See 10 5 2 7 7, and which is not in the ascending order. So when we put a sort value, sort keyword, automatically the values will become in the ascending order. Okay, so this is the purpose of using ascending order. So defaultly the sort function work with the help of ascending order concept. Suppose I am passing here, and if I want to do descending order concept, so if just print sort, and if you press shift plus tab, okay, if you press shift plus tab, the parameters what we need to give inside the sort function, it will be appear. So here is a keyword notation, reverse is equal to false. With the help of this particular parameter, I am just copying it and I am pasting here. See, reverse is equal to false. Reverse means in the reverse direction we are putting false. So we are telling the console that in the reverse direction you should not print, in the ascending order only you need to print. So if you just print it, see everything will be in the ascending order. Okay, because we are passing reverse is equal to false, we are telling the console, Python console, not to do in the ascending order. If you just pass here true, see it will be in the descending order. If you just pass reverse is equal to true, it will understand, okay, the user want to print the elements in the reverse direction from the higher values to the lower values. If you just pass false here, so it will understand reverse is equal to false, but user want to print the elements in the from low values to the high values. So this is how the ascending order and the descending order works with the help of sort keyword. Okay, so defaultly suppose I am giving comma 4 and I am not passing any parameter. Okay, I am not passing reverse is equal to true or false. In such a kind of situation, defaultly it will follow an ascending order concept. And if I pass a, see, ascending order concept, defaultly it follows ascending order. But if you want to do some operations based upon the user requirement, you can pass a parameter known as reverse is equal to false or true depending upon the requirement you need. So these are some predefined functions used in the list. Mostly we will use this only in the real time also. So don't worry guys, I will share this particular file, the particular Python file in my GitHub. I will provide in the description. Okay, so guys, I think you understand this video very clearly, and I also think you like this particular video. Okay, so please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. In the next video we'll have a clear idea about how we can implement stack algorithm with the help of list. In the next video we'll have a clear idea. Okay, thank you.